that transition.
All right.
Transitioning now.
Hello and welcome to Bingothon Ukraine Emergency Relief. We are raising money for Project Hope. You can find the link to donate below the stream. And now, you are going to watch Lego Batman the video game Triple Bingo. Take it away.
Hello everybody, thank you for the intro. My name is Los. I'm here with my co-commentator Sinor. Hi Sinor.
Hello.
This is gonna be a Lego Batman the video game Triple Bingo. For once, it's not a race. I think we showed this game off for every single Bingothon since 2020, I wanna say. But always in a race format. This time it's not gonna be a race, it's gonna be a solo Triple Bingo, which makes it possible for us to go way more in depth about routing and all the skips. So
Yeah, for sure.
Further ado, I would say I'm gonna start. Sinor, you wanna give me a countdown?
All right. I'll give it from 5.
Mhm.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right.
All right. Yeah, and we're glad to be back for another Bingothon. Like Lo said, I did what, 5, 6 in a row?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And so on this card, Los is gonna be going to episode 2 right away because you are able to exit and go to either episodes 1, 2, or 3. And Los is gonna kind of go straight into 2 to try to cover some of these goals here. It is triple. So Los, we kind of discussed some of the potential lines to take on this card, and he'll be taking, I believe, top right to bottom left. Column 2 is one of the ones we're going for, and row 5, I believe. Row 4.
I think that sounds about right. Yeah, we looked at this card beforehand to showcase like a really good Triple Bingo. Like I said, it's not a race, so we saw it more as kind of like also a showcase. Come on.
Yeah, we're gonna work together to try to get the fastest time here. And I believe, is there a hostage here?
Yeah. There she
Yes.
goes again. There she goes again. It's a level 2-1. Most of the time we're gonna refer to the levels as 2-1, 1-5, stuff like that. Which means the first number is gonna be the episode, and the second number is the level in that episode.
Oh, and as you can see, Los is doing a lot of E-gliding here, and that is essentially where he is buffering his A-presses to to get extra height, essentially extended gliding.
Yeah, it's 3 times every 2 seconds, or 90 BPM, if you want to think about that like this way. It makes it lose way less height. And here's the first hostage.
Yep.
So by standing here on this lower part, I don't get a respawn point, which means I can respawn on top, which makes this a super quick and easy hostage.
And this room that Los just went through takes a good 2 minutes, I would say, casually, to do all the puzzles, but extended gliding causes this room to be a mere 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's so once you get down with extended or comfortable with extended glides, this is a really good room, really fun room to actually do. So up next, it's gonna be the Catwoman quick kill, but I'm quickly making a little detour here, because as you can also see, there's collect 5 red bricks. So I'm clipping out of bounds there with a batarang. So there's a tech in this game called batarang clips. So if you're like partially on an object and besides like a space and you pull out the batarang, nice. You can clip out, and this allows you to fly all. I need to.
Oh, did Batman get stuck?
Yeah, I need to change VSync off. So it gets unstuck. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so we can batarang clip there, which is basically like a technique that allows you to clip through an object and the wall. And on certain objects you can actually just clip straight out of bounds. And that was the quick kill.
Nice. I'm glad that it's in this format of just a single triple bingo runner because, like you said, we get to get a lot more in depth on things. And before it might have been 3-4 way race where you don't really know what's happening, and more of the commentary is on like who's in the lead and who's doing what goal.
It's just like picking certain like stuff to showcase, but this format you can actually like showcase everything basically.
Yeah, we'll be actually. Here comes the story mini kits 5+ and
It's not story. It's just mini kits.
Oh, is it story? Okay,
Not story. It's just mini kits.
You will be getting them in story though.
Yeah, most of them I'm getting story.
Oh, are you not gonna be going for all 5 in story?
Well, actually, I don't have to go back into this level again. Yeah, I'm gonna grab all of them in story. If I can remember. Yeah, I should be able to get 5 quickly. So how this like whole like story mini kits, you heard us say if you're going into story or not in story. So you see the goal, there's 5+ mini kits. There's also stuff like 7+ or 3+ story mini kits. And also 10 mini kits. Those are the 3 types of goals we have. Which means the 5+ mini kits we can get them either in story or not in story. Obviously if it says story mini kits, you have to grab them in story. And if it's 10 mini kits, we all have to grab all 10 of them. For certain goals, it's actually faster to not grabbing them in story, like leave certain parts out, or certain mini kits out and going back in free play. But in this level, it's fast to actually grab all of them in story, so I don't have to go back into this level later on.
I think the one level we'll see where you actually leave some for free play is on the rocks, because you're getting all 10 there.
Yeah.
And it's faster to couple those in story, and then leave a couple of those for free play as well.
Exactly, yeah. And also since this is a boat level or a vehicle level, there's not that much like free play tag. There's a clipping tag we can use, but we need specific characters for that one. And we're not gonna have those characters because I won't go all the way to that part. I shouldn't actually go for stats here, but I will do it. This is another mini kit. This should be number 4, obviously. Batman got stuck here.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Yeah, some runners decide to like 1P2C, which is playing with both characters at the same time, this specific section. But obviously Los was going for some mini kits as well, so it's much more difficult to do that while going for the mini kits.
This is going to be my 5th mini kit.
Yep, and as you can see, actually goals are marked not once you get the 5 mini kits, but rather after the level's completed, because technically nothing is saved at this point in time.
Only the hostage.
Yes, I guess hostages are the one scenario where it actually saves immediately after you free the hostage, but
they save
mini
on
kits...
a completely different file base or a completely different spot. You can just exit out even without saving, and the hostage is considered to be saved.
And that actually, that's, for races specifically, that makes it really fun because there's
especially for
tactics
blackout.
around
Or lockout.
Or lockout, yeah.
So we had a lockout.
I'm sorry.
Say again?
If you had time for a quick donation, but
sure, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, we got one donation from 11 Hinos with $50, just saying good luck. Thank you very much for the donation, much appreciated. And if you want to put that into a specific donation goal, we still have 2 ongoing bid wars. You can still vote for Crimson or Corruption in the Terraria speedrun, which is going to happen after this run. So if you want to change that, get it in now. Or you can put it into Jet Set Future character choice. Oh, it's been going into character choice, I think, because Cube is suddenly in the lead with $55 over Pots with $40.
Nice, thank you very much for the donation.
And as you can see, this boss fight right here is probably one of the most annoying boss fights in the game. Los is struggling a bit there to get that last bomb, as you have to hit at a pretty specific part of the boat. and there's a million different enemies that can destroy it before it gets there. The bombs take a while to respawn, so it's definitely not a fan favorite level. We consider it Trash Boat Battle instead of Bat Boat Battle, which is just its real name.
So yeah, what I was saying earlier was that we had a lockout tournament like a couple months ago, and as Senor said, the hostages get saved immediately once you actually grab them. You don't have to finish the level, which made from some really cool scenarios where one player was in the lead and grabbed the hostage thinking he's safe and finishing the level, another player coming in and actually sniping the hostage. Playing it safe.
Is there something here in another city? Let me see.
No.
No.
I'm gonna...
So actually,
yeah, you're gonna see like how speedrun this. Besides at the end, I'm going for some stats, because you also can see the two super status goal. So a super status is once you like collected a certain amount of stats, which is like the collectible, like the money. You get the super status.
I think if you played Lego Star Wars, it was called True Jedi or True Adventure. If you're playing Lego Indiana Jones, this game's just called a super status.
Well, it's called superhero actually.
Yeah, I guess superhero, supervillain, depending on which level you're playing.
It's played safe. That should be enough, right?
Yeah, there is actually a skip there that saves a little bit of time. You can kind of clip up through, but might as well play it safe. And here's a cool little up warp that skips a good portion of gameplay here.
Is there... no. Nope. Collect a certain amount of mini kits.
I guess you can get that purple to be safe, but...
Yeah, but it should be safe anyway later on.
It should be fine.
And here you're supposed to have the bomb suit, but pulling out the batarang just lets you clip through, and here I'm going for... Want to cover this one, Senor?
Yeah, so what Los is doing here is when you run into the wall at like certain angles with certain objects, you can actually clip out by lagging your game. And you can see there Los lagged his game, and he was able to get out after a couple of tries, and he's able to glide completely under the map, and he'll upwarp here in a second in this pool of water. Hopefully. Oh, I think you gotta go a little closer to the screen. Oh no. Yeah, so he's gonna... Yeah. Unfortunately, that's a bit of lost time, but this tech actually is applied in many places in the game now. It's a more recent discovery. But yeah, this allows you to basically just alt-tab your game and go out of bounds in some crazy places. And as you can see, it skips this whole puzzle in this room. I think you might need to... There you go.
Yeah, luckily this water extends all the way to the ground. Yeah, it goes all the way, like, way underneath the map.
Oh no, I don't know if you can get the super status. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can see.
My bad. Those, I don't know why these goons are here. I thought those were the goons from the area to the right.
No, okay.
Yeah, and he's gonna...
What was there? Let's go back here. No, I can't get super status.
Yeah, so what Los was trying to do there was get a stud multiplier. So if you like get a combo on enough enemies, you get like a multiplier.
A couple more studs. Should be able to get it still. It's still gonna be faster than going back into this level.
Yeah, because then you have to go all the way back there. Yeah. And as you can see here, he's got about ×3, ×4. So like a blue stud would count for 4,000 instead of 1,000. What he was trying to do was
60,000. So there should be a couple of stats here.
And there's always that purple in the upwarp room in the previous room that you can get.
Yeah, I missed. This should give me a couple of stats as well. No, it doesn't. Right.
Oh, yeah.
But I guess...
dispenses a couple.
Guess I have to go back.
Oh, actually, I don't know if... I think you have to complete the puzzle down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sucks, but I think
that's
the only
actually what we skipped. Sadly, I wasn't able to get the stat multiplier, which happens really rarely. It's actually a pretty safe goal normally.
Yeah, I think there was a goon that was missing, where usually you're able to get...
There are 3 goons at the end normally, and usually you can get...
Oh, you need to build the other...
Did I not?
Yeah, the one on the right, you didn't build it.
Didn't build it? Okay. Yeah. Just gives you another one. I should be fine after this.
Yeah, actually, all these studs now,
Yeah, I
you
can
might
go
get away
back.
with just getting the
Yeah,
garbage still left
there's
over
a
here.
blue one there. A blue one is 1,000. Like I said, I need around 60,000. I'm just gonna play it safe, like I said. Yeah, should be safe now. There's also like...
But yeah, typically this level is one of the levels you can get them pretty, like the supersets pretty easily on. It's one of the targeted ones, but Los just got pretty unlucky with the goons at the end.
Yeah.
So he had to kind of go out of his way to grab some extra studs, which
So
I believe...
close.
I'm not
Building
entirely
everything,
sure
building
how much
usually-
is in...
Didn't help.
Oh, that's just the...
Yeah.
unfortunately.
But building still gives me stats, so...
I'm not entirely sure the count in the last room. There's a couple breakable objects in the last room.
Yeah. Okay, finally got it.
Oh, okay, it's actually 59.
Yeah.
Not 60. Okay, cool.
Oh, there were 1,000 stats at the bottom here. Okay.
And actually, I guess another example of how extended gliding skips some puzzles that you would need the aqua suit there for, which we actually entirely skipped earlier in the level. What level are you planning on doing your second super status on?
1-5.
Okay.
That's super easy.
Or yeah. And I guess you can also go for it on 1-2
I could,
as well.
But there's the same problem with 1-2 if you don't get like a good multiplier. There's only 3 enemies you're gonna punch there. And in 1-5 there's so many enemies to actually punch. Yeah, not much going on this boss fight. One thing to mention of the boss fights, what you normally see, especially with newer runners, or people just casually playing the game, they just spam the attack button, especially if they're doing co-op. Both players just like try to spam the attack button. This only works in this fight and the next fight, and also Poison Ivy fight, I guess. But if you punch them repeatedly, you actually get them into their iframes. And if you just wait a little bit, it depends from boss to boss, you can actually get them, or they become vulnerable way quicker. And here's no bench jump. I'm going to do my variation of that skip.
Yeah, so there's actually no bench jump in this level is one of the goals, and essentially it's one of the more common ways to skip this room. So this bingo goal is essentially either getting you to do an alternative strat or the casual strat, which usually top bingo players will try to go for the alternative strats because obviously that's much faster than the casual way, and yeah, I guess it's just faster. That's essentially why, and it covers the goal.
When this goal was made, we didn't have any alternative strats, but now we figured out faster alternative strats, so almost nobody goes for bench jump anymore. So it's basically free goal.
Maybe it can use an update.
Yeah.
We did do that with a couple goals, and here's another cool battering clip.
I never can get that one.
Yeah, this one's a little tricky because a lot of the battering clips you're right on the edge of an object and it's really easy to slide off. And here's a cool alternative to get into this room.
That's a safer way. It's a one try, but it's a really easy one try. And I failed it.
Oh no.
There's so many alternative ways to do this room now.
Here's another battering clip. This one's with FDT. They're frame dependent, so you're just gonna alt tab.
So again, I'm gonna pull out the battering at the edge here.
There it is. Oh no. But as you can see, specifically I guess with the alt tabbing and the lagging of your game, what happens is the screen goes black partially when you go back into the game, and sometimes it doesn't recognize exactly where you are and can sometimes place your character within walls if you're like running into a wall previously or being pushed into a wall. I think in most cases you're actually being pushed into a wall.
Basically, if you
And
yeah, go ahead.
and then you'll get partially put into the wall when you reload the game, and then you're able to actually just move straight through it in most cases. I believe from here to the end of the level, it'll just be the typical speedrun strats. The one goal here, was just the no bench jump.
One no bench jump. And the next level is gonna be Penguin Slayer, and I think there are 2 goals for that. 9+ mini kits, and I think there's
And the
also
red
the red brick. Yeah. I have to remember.
I guess technically the red brick is possible in story, but that is a
We don't talk
tech
about that.
that we don't want to talk about or use because it's really bad.
Yeah. It's possible to do what's called bar launch. So by having really specific FPS, you can play this game with capped FPS and uncapped FPS. Certain skips require uncapped FPS, certain skips require capped FPS. If you're having uncapped FPS and like the perfect amount, I think it's around 120 FPS. You can get a launch of certain or like of the hanging bars, and I don't get that specific FPS, so it's really unreliable for me. Senior, you get like the perfect amount.
Oh, that was unfortunately my old laptop, but
Okay.
I was blessed with the like almost perfect amount on my old laptop, so I was able to show off a couple cool bar launches like that. But it's still, even with like the perfect FPS, it's a really tight timing and it rarely works still.
Yeah. So I can't get 9 mini kits here in stock. Well, technically I can, but I have to go back for the red brick anyway, so I'm gonna ignore all the mini kits in story, because it's gonna be quicker for me to go back and grab the mini kits in free play, because I'm gonna get an extra later on called Slam, which allows you to actually do... Oh, I can grab this one. Why not?
Yeah, that one's a nice, convenient one on the way.
Which gets you Slam, and Slam is an upgrade, the suit upgrade that actually allows me to basically fly.
You should probably also get the mini kit with the 4 battering things.
Yeah, that's planned. I planned that.
Okay. Oh no, did you turn the turnstile? Okay.
Yeah, but Robin was annoying.
Robin.
I
Yeah.
guess can just want me to see it.
So Penguin only releases 2 bombs at a time here, and
2 to 3. Yep.
yeah, on rare occasion, there he goes.
Yep.
On occasion, he'll do 3, and on occasion, he'll also do 1, which. But typically, he'll do 2 or 3. And if the Penguin gets blown up by Catwoman, a Goon, Robin, it unfortunately does. Oh, and that one did miss. What we're trying to do is use the turnstile to deflect him into the, I guess, the little rooms where those, the Penguins are running on the treadmills in the background. And sometimes it's the angle of the turnstile is kind of tough to determine sometimes, but
Yeah, it can help sometimes.
Oh no. Yeah, I think you just gotta push it up a little bit. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, this is better. Yeah, and it's not the same angle for the left and the right side, because the camera is actually a little bit... What? What was that? Like a little bit tilted. So you can't just go for the same exact angle on both sides.
Did something happen that I missed?
It just, the turnstile completely flipped to the right side. With me just slightly pressing it, it just went all the way to the right. Let's see this angle. Let's go for this one.
Might be a little too sharp.
No.
Nope, that's fine.
Now I'm trying to get Catwoman away.
And actually, yeah, right after this, this is the second quick kill we'll be showing off. Where the first one we kind of put Catwoman into a void. Yeah. We kind of threw her into a void, and on this one we are throwing Penguin into some toxic goo.
Yeah. Grab it. Okay.
And actually, you can do it to Catwoman too, but what actually triggers the end of the level here is Penguin dying, or Penguin losing all of his hearts.
Catwoman is gonna die here probably.
Let's see if we can get the double.
Almost
So I
looks
think
like it.
Catwoman's actually, yeah, and Catwoman just gets So as you can
Didn't get
see,
it. Yeah.
it does insta kill characters if you get them in the right spot in there, which Catwoman just got. Catwoman is not supposed to die.
No.
For reference, it's not coded. Well, I guess technically if you push her in there, but
Oh, I can push him in now.
yes, and actually, yeah, there it is.
And no gold mark here. So this unlocks now episode 5, which is the villain side of, like, how this game is set up is you have the hero side first, and then once you completed the hero episode, you can actually go and play the villain side where they're setting up all the traps, which is a really cool concept. But we're not going into episode 5. We will be going into episode 4. So you're gonna see like the Riddler side, you're seeing the hero side first, which I'm gonna play now. And afterwards you're gonna see the villain side, like how he sets everything up, steals everything.
And one of the key parts to these bingos is, in routing them, is trying to cut off certain episodes. And in this specific card, we're actually able to cut off episode 3, 6, and 5. And that, like, when you cut off, full episodes, you're skipping up to 5 levels. So obviously, the less levels played, the faster. So that's typically the main thing runners are looking for in routing is what episodes can I cut off? How many can I cut off?
Yeah.
And in this card in particular, we can cut off 3 of the 6, which is actually really nice.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. It's not that it's just like you don't have to go into certain levels. It's also we don't need specific characters from that level. So for example, if you're going to episode 6, we would get Joker. And Joker is used to get certain mini-kits and red bricks. So we also have to route around that we won't have Joker at any point. So all the Joker mini-kits we can't get. Which adds like another layer of depth to routing in this game. But yeah, this is, you can bank on Batman, first level, kind of iconic one. It's one of the worst levels to speedrun in this game. Should I go for tech suit skip?
Yeah, you actually might as well try it. This is one of the hardest skips in the game.
Yeah.
Conveniently, it's in the first level. But you're doing like a battering clip like we've done before, but on this very, very tiny ledge. On that like small glass ledge.
Yeah.
And you have to be at the very edge of the glass ledge.
Yeah, and you can also see, once you fail it, all the enemies come around and start to punch you.
Yeah, it's a really hard depth perception to get the jump right, and then you have to do the battering clip just right after as well. Specifically the category Hero Story, which is probably the most commonly run category in this game. This is the very first level, so there's a lot of resetting that happens.
Yeah.
And Los is just going to build a tech suit here.
Yeah.
Which this kind of shows off what would be skipped.
You skip building this. Also the whole mini cart here. You're gonna skip. So it skips quite a bit actually.
Yeah, I believe it's 30 seconds?
Yeah, close to that.
And also you'll see this is, well actually it does apply to all levels, but this one in particular, you're trying to get 0 studs at the end of it to skip certain status screens. Because this one level has unskippable status screens at the end where it kind of goes around showing you how many studs you got, how many mini kits you got.
Which suits
those
you
are
collect and
unskippable.
stuff like that.
Yeah. And actually, it's slightly faster to do this level a bit later in things like Bingo, because now Los has this bomb suit already collected. I don't think the tech suit, no. But then he won't have to watch the status screens. And he's actually going to grab a red brick too.
Yeah, it's a super quick red brick.
You have the red brick from 2-1 and now the one from 1-1, so this is kind of going towards the collect 5 red brick. Collect 5 red brick goal.
And let's make sure not to grab any more studs. Okay. And I saw I had 0 stats on both my characters. So now you can see... Normally I was just like skipping all those cutscenes, but you can't skip that in the first level here. But it skips 2 out of the 5 camera pans here. I think it's 5. It shows you the red brick that I got, the level complete, the suits. Since I already have the bomb suit, it doesn't show me unlocking the bomb suit, so it saves even more time doing this level a little bit later. And it skips the screen where it shows you how many stats I had, and then it counts down from that number. And it also showed me how far ahead into the super status I was. I guess I'm going for super status here.
Yeah, do you wanna? Might as well try it. There's a
Yeah. So
there's some purple studs. Yeah, there's some purple studs under the main staircase in this level. They're in this very first room, and you can go for that multiplier. It's a little tricky to get, but you can get a nice multiplier going under these stairs when the enemies spawn. Let's see.
I should spawn rather soonish. Okay.
There.
How many are there? Only 2. Okay, 3.
Oh, there's 3. Should be about times 4. Oh wait, I think you can save it.
Yeah. I can just wait a little bit. Okay. Times 2. Let's wait for another one. Why aren't normally goons are coming out of here as well? Okay.
Yeah, so what happened was Los accidentally only collected the blue studs, and there's a mix of blue and purple. He didn't get to the purple ones, which... Oh no,
Where are they?
he had times 3. I think they're a little bit closer to...
Whatever.
Unfortunately, not gonna get the multiplier in the purple there, but... This is a cool little drop and warp. I don't think we've explained drop and warps, but...
Not sure if they actually came up already. Did they?
I don't think so, actually. Or do you want to explain that, or?
Go ahead. Can I
Okay.
explain it?
So, what Los just did there was a drop and warp, and there's actually a couple different ways of doing it, but essentially you're trying to get your other character off screen, and you're going to a specific location where the game thinks you're in the next area. So what happened was Los got high enough there, where the game kind of thought he was in a different place, like beyond the door. So it kind of just allowed Robin's AI to go through the door completely, and when he dropped him in, it spawned him behind the door, which that tech is probably one of the biggest time savers in this game compared to casual strats, and we'll definitely be seeing it more in this run.
Yeah, actually the next
shortly.
room you're gonna see it as well. Let's quickly deal with those enemies.
And I believe, this is one of the ones where specifically you can use the fact that you can pan the camera in this game to then influence the game more to think you're in a different area, which you'll see in a second. And that's one of the differences in this game is a lot of people like to run it on controller, even though it's on PC and you can run it on keyboard, because keyboard players cannot pan the camera. Controller players can use their right stick to pan the camera in different ways to make other drop and warps, for example this one upcoming here, a lot more easier.
It's also really handy to pan the camera to get the other player off screen, because if you're just standing in the same spot and you can just pan the camera away from him, it just drops him in. For example here, if I jump here, drop in, the game thinks I'm already behind this gas pipes or whatever they are, and Batman will drop in on the other side. It's kind of like a catch-up mechanic. But there are limitations to it. So for example, you have to have a direct path. The AI should be able to follow you. It's one of the limitations, for example. That's why I also built parts of the bridge before it dropped Robin in the 2 rooms prior.
And also, there's only certain rooms in the game that, extend even more into the previous room, or certain doors. So it's kind of, it's more specific of a condition to get a drop and warp than you'd think.
Yeah.
Because obviously the way it sounds like you can just kind of run into the wall anywhere and drop in the character to the next room, skip every room that way. But
Yeah, I wish it was
and
like
unfortunately, unfortunately, it's a little bit more specific. And as we've shown off some quick kills in the past so far, this level specifically has a boss fight where you can't quick kill the boss, and there's actually been some cool testing done to try to get him into the goo that's just got put up there.
Yeah, even I was able to launch him all the way in there, and he vanished, but the level didn't end. So, as you think, the right conditions doesn't have to be met, because when you saw the penguin quick kill, you can actually go there and push penguin in there all the way from the beginning without doing all the treadmill stuff, but the level doesn't end, so there has to be certain checkpoints that have to be marked for it to work. And oh, come on, Robin, you can do this. Okay.
And also, I think the boss has to be coded a specific way. And I think the reason why there's like a handful of levels you can and a handful of levels you can't is simply just because a different person developed each level, and one specific person who developed the levels we do have quick kills in was the same person. And the other people made it so it's impossible for those bosses to die.
Also, it's important that the character that you're quick killing is actually on camera. If they're not on camera, the quick kill soft locks. But as Sinor said before, we can just manipulate the camera to the right control stick. I hate when he's going into that corner.
And actually, the same thing applies for, or not on camera, sorry, but for like what I was talking about, the specific people developing levels. There's one specific person we all love in the community, and that's, we don't know him, but he kept the end level triggers out of bounds in certain levels. So we're actually able to end the level by just hitting an out of bounds trigger in a handful of levels.
That in this run, I don't think there's...
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be going to a level with that, but if we do go underestimate, we can kind of show
that off. And here's probably the only vehicle level that's actually cool in my opinion, which I don't hate. Because this has actually some unique techs. Well, it's not a unique tech, but it's gonna be drop-in warps. But they allow us to actually skip like a bunch. And in the other vehicle levels we can't really do anything basically. Just in the boat level we can clip out in free play. We can also do this in the car levels. But yeah, I'm gonna do another drop-in warp here. So right when I hit the carrot there, I'm gonna spam the drop-in button. And I can hit the transition to the next room from out of bounds. Actually.
And then use, red brick.
Yeah, that's number 3, I think.
And number 3 into that goal, collect 5 red bricks, which should be completed fairly soon. Despite this probably being the best vehicle level, this boss fight is still
it's
not.
I said it's the best vehicle level. It's like it's still bottom tier, but it's the best from the bottom tier levels.
This boss fight is fairly random, and what can happen is those little red cars that Two-Face is letting out. I don't even know what those are, to be honest. They're just little red cars, and like when he lets them out, it eats up your bullets when you're trying to shoot him to deactivate Two-Face. So sometimes he'll just like constantly let out a stream of those little red cars and you can't hit him. So there's a bit of RNG into that fight.
Is this a good time for a small reminder? Alright, we just wanted to remind everyone that we are raising money for Project Hope during this Ukraine Emergency Relief Marathon. Project Hope has dispatched emergency teams within Ukraine, but also to Poland, Romania and Moldova in order to provide as much help as possible to those that are stuck in the country as well as refugees. You probably know that already more than 2 million people have fled the country, and these bordering countries have done their best to accommodate them and help them feel safe while the war is ongoing. So this is very important, the very important work and very important help, and every dollar counts and helps an amazing cause. So keep watching us and keep donating. Today is the last day of the event, and also this is it for me and Z in terms of hosting. We are going to pass it on to Pikastrophe and Golden Devil. So thank you so much for being with us, and don't go anywhere and keep watching.
Yeah, same for me. Keep watching, keep donating. It's a great cause. Have tons of fun on the rest of the event, and we'll see you again soon.
See you in chat.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Yeah. Sorry, my doorbell just rang and I have to see who it was, and it wasn't important to open up. Yeah, this level. Can I get to skip? Oh no, I can't actually do this. I need to do this.
Yeah, you have to get. Oh well, you can get the hostage by jump kicking through.
Not sure. Probably can. Yeah, you can. Alright, room 2 skip.
But yeah, this is actually.
Go over
actually, I'm not exactly too familiar with this.
Okay.
This much, but
Just try it and I... Come on, where's the trampoline? Yeah, the trampoline here is already built. Don't actually have to build this. Okay. So should I go over it?
yes, this is
Okay.
one of the newer things I'm actually not too accustomed to.
Okay, so by jump kicking here and alt tapping, I can get behind the plant. I need to end up on the left side, like I did here. Then I need to pan the camera or the control upright, pause, alt tap, and by double jump I can get over the door. Then I can switch VSync back on, so back on 60 FPS. I can land on top of the door and need to batarang like this, alt tap, and I can go through the door. And that's really hard actually. It's like
Yeah, that is one of the hardest skips. Like I haven't done much work with it, but from any attempts I've done, I've not had that much success.
yeah,
It's definitely one of the hardest strips.
I'm at 2 mini kits. I need 5. I can get 5 in story if I just grab this one here.
Yeah, might as well avoid
Yeah.
going back and free play.
Yeah. I think this
And
is just an alt tap grab here.
I think you need to. Actually, I know you. Yeah, you BRC off the side.
Yeah, BRCs. Okay, let's go. It's number 3. Ooh.
That's annoying.
Oh,
I
I
guess
have
you can
Batman.
switch to the. Yeah.
I can just double jump up here.
And another thing with the characters kind of being misplaced with the alt tabs, as I was explaining earlier, it can actually be used to also get up certain slopes and get extra height and distance, which
You saw me
was
do
used a
there.
couple times.
I alt tapped once to get a little bit more distance. It's not needed to get up there, but it makes it easier.
Yeah.
Now I have to do this skip.
This is the pixel up warp. So there's a very, very, very specific pixel and like sub-pixel you have to be on here to then clip into the ceiling, which conveniently actually there's, when you turn VSync off, you slide into a position.
Yeah.
When you stand up against this wall, you slide into the perfect position for it.
Yeah.
But
you're not allowed to
are...
actually destroy the workbench here. If I destroy the workbench, that would be bad.
Yeah, then you don't actually get to slide into position.
Get to respawn.
You get up into the ceiling here, and then what Los is trying to do is, this is really tough. You kind of have to run along the very thin wall here for a second to be able to jump around and get to those pipes out of bounds.
And I actually have to do this because I did room 2 skip. I don't have the the suction suit. Okay, got out of bounds. So I need
you
to
actually
do
will
this.
have to get the suction suit at some point
Um,
for on the rocks 10 mini kits.
Okay, yeah. I just can grab it quickly here later on.
Yeah, that'll be a future.
Yeah. Good point.
I mean, you're coming back to episode 1 for Slam anyway, so
Yeah,
it won't be too far out of the way.
yeah. I mean, I can just grab it actually afterwards. I have the... Yeah, I just grab it afterwards. I quick out of this level, so I actually have it. Because I don't need... I only have to go into the second room, which is super easy.
Especially since you already have the Sonic suit in free play.
Yeah, exactly. I can just grab it real quick.
And there's actually there's a skip for this boss fight where there is an end level trigger, but it is very, very difficult.
Yeah. There are setups now for it. But it's still difficult.
Yeah, definitely not something we'd want to get stuck on for a long time in a marathon run with an estimate.
Yeah. Come on. So another thing you see me do, by pulling out the batarang, I also did that in the Mr. Freeze fight. You actually get invincible. So I can just like basically lock Poison Ivy in here. And that's another goal done. Actually 2 goals. There's the hostage and 5+ minikits.
And there's the next level. There isn't any particular goals on the first visit, but on the second visit, you're gonna get another red brick.
Yeah.
Actually, do you plan on getting Slam
Yeah.
right after? Oh, well, actually, I think you need
After, well, probably
after
going...
episode 4.
Yeah, I'm going to grab the suction suit real quick. I'm probably planning to go to do everything story first, then go back.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, now you can see free play. Free play is the game mode once you actually unlocked or finished the level in story. You can switch to like a raster of characters, and also all the suits are unlocked, so you can just quickly switch around. And because I did room 2 skip and didn't grab the suction suit there, I quickly have to grab it actually here. But it's not a big deal. It would have been faster if I just grabbed it. But I completely forgot. I was too focused on actually getting room 2 skip. It was first try, so I'm really happy. That skip can be terrible.
And like in the normal like hero story category, the most popular one, you don't actually have to get this at all. The only reason Los has to get this is because there's a goal later on in the run where you're gonna need the suction suit for a mini kit. So typically you're able to just skip this without any consequence. But
yeah,
that's the cool thing about bingos is you have to think ahead and on what you're doing now. So it's kind of have to put a mix of your brain power on what you're doing. And
so now I have
like,
the suit, and now I need to save and exit. Okay.
Yep.
So 1-5, the face-off. There's no goals in here.
Oh, actually, we completely forgot. I think we both forgot 2 super statuses. You're gonna be going for your second super status here.
True. Yeah, I would have forgotten that.
Luckily, that is all the way at the very end, so there was some time to remember.
Yeah.
But it's essentially the same thing as what we were going for before in Under the City or the underground level with Croc, and we're gonna try to get a stud multiplier.
Yeah,
off of
but
a
this
bunch of
time
goons.
with way more enemies.
Yeah,
And here's
so it
another
makes
drop-in warp. This one skips a lot.
Yeah, it might only seem like it's skipping like one gate, but that's actually quite a bit.
Yeah, you have to deal with all the enemies, then you have to build something, pull 2 levers, then a mini cutscene plays, after that you have to drive a car into a spot another cutscene plays.
And we're actually, yeah, this is another use of drop-in warps is you're able just to teleport characters close to you. So while Robin was all the way behind, you can just teleport them right next to you. And then here's actually the first punch launch of the run. So you're going to turn VSync off here, which gets you higher FPS. And then certain slopes in this game, you can kind of just punch into it and you get extreme height like there. And he's able to just completely skip that magnet suit wall, which is kind of a longer puzzle. It takes like 30 seconds.
And I can also drop in warp Batman now up here. So you see how much drop-in warps actually save, even if it's just like getting a character to a specific spot.
Yeah,
but otherwise I would have to go all the way back and do basically the same thing with Batman now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that first room had a plethora of just drop-in warps, punch launch. It had a good amount of skips, and without those, that room would be probably minutes longer.
Yeah. Didn't finish building it. I think it's still one piece missing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, because you can extend the glide, we can skip so much here actually. Ah, I guess there's a suction suit in this level as well. I could have got.
Oh, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, you skip another suction suit section, building a boat, chasing around Two-Face in the boat. And up to the last boss fight. Actually, of the whole bingo, this is gonna be the last boss fight.
Yeah, because actually all the boss fights are contained within Hero, except for a select few.
Yeah, like the vehicle levels have a boss fight in the villain section, and there's one level of another boss fight.
Just the random Catwoman boss fight. And yeah, but that actually can be skipped. We're not going to be going to that level.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that boss fight. The helicopter boss fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that one. I never did that one. I was thinking about Commissioner Gordon.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. And that can be skipped too.
Yeah. Come on.
Unfortunately, it's not the coolest boss fight to leave off all the boss fights with. This one's you're pretty much set to how the game is meant to be played.
This one is cycle based, so you're not gonna lose or gain like a big amount of time. Okay, that was times 7. No, times 2.
Oh no.
I can do this still. There's not a second.
Actually, I don't know if it'll be enough, but you can actually get the super status on 4-1 pretty easily.
Yeah.
And considering you're going to be going for story mini kits there, it won't be too bad going out of the way for the studs.
So close. Yeah, you see this one is on cycles. Even if I don't kill all the enemies. Yeah, I'm probably going for it in 5-1. Or actually, 4-1 is an easy one. 4-2 is another good one. Also go for 30k stats in breaking blocks. There should be enough like opportunities to get still super stars. Else I'm just going quickly into 1-2.
Oh, it's funny because... Oh, yeah, I guess you can... Yeah, there's a lot of different options.
Yeah.
It's funny because we were contemplating a route right before this with the 6 super statuses.
Yeah.
And I'm very glad we didn't go with that because that would be kind of a problem.
Yeah.
With how they've been going so far.
So now we can actually see the villain side. It's gonna be amazing. I enjoy the villain side way more. So like my specialty in this game is actually free play. And especially the villain side. I just love the villain side. It's such a cool run. Xenor is a hero free play runner, or basically he runs everything. But I want to say your main category is hero free play.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
Yeah,
Is now a good time to just plug some things?
sure.
Yeah.
All right. So, as everyone can see, we're at $1,700, and we actually have an incentive, a bonus run. If we get to $2,500, there will be a run of Pokemon Legends Arceus Bingo. We also have a few bid wars coming up for some of the upcoming runs, Terraria and Jet Set Radio Future.
On the note of Pokemon Legends Arceus, we also have a prize of just that game, which is actually provided here by Golden Devil, which you can potentially gain with a minimum donation of $30, which can be spread over multiple donations. So once again, there's a lot of ways you can get value out of your donation by, for instance, contributing to the final incentive, potentially gaining amazing prizes, or contributing to other bid wars and whatnot. But of course, the biggest value is the amazing cause you're donating towards, which is Project Hope, who are doing great work in Ukraine right now to help people. So let's see if we can reach those numbers soon. Thank you, everyone. Let's keep it going.
Thank you. Let's see if we can get this one.
That trick you were just about to attempt is probably one of the long shot tricks in this game. I wouldn't say it's one try, but once you miss it once, you actually I think it is technically one try, isn't it? If you fall off the top.
No, you can get back there,
Okay.
but then it loses time.
But here's the alternative, which is much more common. You kind of go on top of those metal posts out of bounds to be able to navigate to the door. And Los has been collecting story kits
That's number 5.
throughout this level, which, he's gotten 5.
So you see really easy and quick goals there to just collect the 5 mini kits there.
There is the end-level trigger here, but I don't know if you want to go for that.
I mean, I can... Let's
attempt it?
Yeah, I have over now. I can attempt it. I'm good on estimate.
Yeah, so there's a very, very finicky end-level trigger here.
Can do the...
What Los is going to do is try to Alt-Tab in this very specific spot to the clip Clayface, or actually you might want to do with Riddler.
It's better with Riddler, I forgot.
It's easier to hit the because you just need to do a single. Yeah, you don't double jump. But yeah, this trigger is under the map. It's like equivalent with the ground.
Yeah.
But you have to hit it in a very specific direction, and this is like all end level trigger. There's end level triggers in this game. You have to hit it in a specific direction.
Yeah.
And they're all pretty small.
Yeah, they're half a unit wide and high, and like not at all like wide. Or I give it one more try of Clayface. Nah, can't get it.
Yeah, as you can see, it's really, really finicky trying to get out of balance in the right. You have to be in like the right sliding animation.
Yeah, and it only saves a couple of seconds actually.
Yeah.
So it would have been cool to show off.
The end triggers do save in cases minutes.
Yeah. And those were the 5+ mini kits. Where are they? Up here. It really makes a draw.
Yeah, you got a 6th one, just for good measure.
Yeah. Breaking blocks. Probably leaving most of the mini kits out and grabbing them in free play.
On the rocks.
Yeah, for on the rocks.
Are you gonna be going for the room 1?
Yeah, I attempt it.
Yeah, this is essentially exactly like the end level trigger for the previous level, and it's pretty finicky getting out. But luckily,
this one is way easier, in my opinion.
Yeah. This one, in the opinion of most runners, is much easier than the previous one attempted.
So you have to alt-tap at a specific moment to actually clip out of bounds.
Yeah, your character has to be like running at a specific point, like in
Yeah.
their running animation or sliding animation, I guess, depending on which.
Yep,
There it
like
is.
this. Okay. And then you can see you can just clip out there. And here we're gonna see what Senior earlier said, alt-tabbing or lagging the game for a little bit more height. It's possible without alt-tabbing, but it's just so much easier if you just jump up here, alt-tab once, and you get up here.
Oh, maybe it's worth getting the red brick here. I know it's not part of the goal, but towards the
I'm grabbing it in free play.
Okay.
Should be quicker anyway. Alright. Pipe jump.
This is, yeah. Let's just say not a favorite of a lot of runners. There's an invisible wall actually here that Los is trying to get around. And you have to be pretty precise with like, you have to jump sort of last second and then cut into the wall at basically the perfect timing to get around.
So you need to do an edge jump. As you can see, I have a couple of frames where I can actually jump still while being like not grounded. And by changing VSync there, we can actually manipulate the AI to actually grab onto the bars, which keeps actually having to do the same jump with Riddler. And then man controlling the guy, building a staircase. And here the devs just forgot to put collision above the door, so we can just walk through it.
Developers forgot a lot of things, I guess, is
This
the moral
game-
of the story.
Let's actually deal with them with 1P2C. So yeah, we never actually went into 1P2C in this game, I think. So I'm now controlling both characters at the same time. I'm using my keyboard and a controller for that. So I can build, for example, here and block the shots with player 1. It's just a lot faster and a lot quicker to do it that way. You can just basically do 2 tasks at once. Actually, let's...
Oh,
did I get
can
it?
you still get that one? I don't think.
It's fine. I'm gonna have SJ anyways.
Yeah, that'll be nice and easy to get. I would say 1P2C is used a lot more. You'll see it a lot more commonly in like the actual like speed runs and like the story runs because you're doing the same thing over and over and over. But with Bingo, you know, the card's gonna be different every time. There's different things you gotta do, so it's a lot less commonly used because, you know, you have to focus on something that you haven't been practicing doing 1P2C with before.
It's become muscle memory most of the time, and if you're really good at 1P2C, you can just do it on the fly. But for story runs, you have specific points where you actually do 1P2C. Okay, got it. So it's actually, like Sinor said, it's used way more in actual story runs than in bingos. Here we can just jump kick across with Riddler, which is really nice and handy.
And I don't think it was mentioned, but in the previous room, I don't even know what tech you would even consider it, but
It's
Riddler,
an AI
the
manipulation, yeah.
Yeah, it's just AI manipulation in general. The Riddler AI actually pulled the lever that was up where Ivy was standing down below, which I've always thought is one of the coolest little skips you can do, little AI manipulations.
Nice, got that one. So this is not a drop-in warp, so...
Oh, you're gonna go for the no swan?
No.
Okay.
So this room, like the gate that's between this room and the previous room, is actually a transition, but it's what we call a soft load. So it doesn't load an entire new map, it just loads a different part of the map and it gets both players there. And we can just drop in warp behind it, and it skips a fair bit. And precise jumps to get over here. Also in this
There's
level,
also-
most of the enemies, if you attack one of them, they become scared and don't like want to deal with you anymore. Or if just basically attack. This makes this a really easy like level actually. Go ahead, I cut you off, Sinor.
I was just gonna say, when you saw Los riding the swan, there's actually a small skip there where you can skip building that swan, and it's a pretty finicky like AI. What would you call it?
Yeah, it's also like basically
AI
the same I
manipulation
did in
tool?
the previous room where I made the AI grab the bar. You can do the same there.
Yeah,
But it's way
yeah, it
harder
was in the
there.
previous level with Mr. Freeze, where Mr. Freeze kind of grabbed the bar after he switched off of him. Because you just need to place the AI close enough that it thinks like, oh, I'm jumping to this bar, and it'll go towards it. And there's a finicky jump by that gate that the swan destroyed to be able to make Poison Ivy grab to the bar.
Yeah, and I also like completely skipped the puzzle there. So you're supposed to actually ride an elevator up there. The game devs never thought that you would just jump into it, so the transition to the next room is always there. By jumping from the valves and then upward, like doing the double jump, so you get up, like upwards momentum basically. You can hit it going from like a lower Y value to a higher Y value, and that's need to do it like this. Yeah, and that's how the game determines if you actually hit the transition. Xeno mentioned that before with the out of bounds doors, that you have to hit them in a specific direction. The game determines if you hit them, if they look what was your XYZ coordinates before and after, and if there's like a direct line between them, the game considers you have to be going through that direction and hit it. Right, only a couple more levels left.
In the story.
Yeah.
Story, and then we go into free play.
Yeah, free play is quick.
Although there is the free play on this card is a bit more hefty than typical.
Yeah, I'm actually considering going for breaking blocks also for free play. 30k stats, so we can do the big skip in room 1, but stay off. Because I'm not sure if I can get 30k stats.
Oh no, I think you for sure can in breaking blocks. There's enough. Like you can get stud multipliers. I think there's just enough lying around.
Okay, I'm just trying to get there. If I don't get it, I'm just gonna...
I also think like might as well go show off the big skip in the beginning of room 1 of breaking blocks, and you can always go to 1-2 as like a backup.
I need 30k stats anyways in breaking blocks.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I still think you get the 30k for sure.
Just
I
going
was
on a
thinking of the super
rampage.
status. There is actually a drop and warp to skip this room, but this is one of the more difficult drop and warps in this game, if not one of the most difficult, and it doesn't even save that much.
No.
So sometimes not even worth going for it. And this is a cool skip. It's called laser skip, where essentially
just
let's see if
YOLO
it helps. Yeah,
there's
so,
a setup for it, but...
Yeah, so the goal that Los is trying to get there is those lasers that just activated kind of on both sides to trap you in this room don't get activated sometimes. We haven't completely figured out why.
I think both characters need to be like over a specific line, so you can get player 2 stuck and it doesn't activate the lasers, but that's not always true.
Yeah, it's weird how the lasers activate there, but essentially is you're trying to stay low enough, and you're trying to just pray basically in some scenarios. Unless you do, there's this very, very specific setup you can do. It takes a bit of time, but that the lasers don't pop up, and you can kind of just walk straight through that room to the end room.
Yeah. Also, this is like a good showcase of 1P2C. You do all the tasks at once, so you're doing one task with player 1, which is building the robot, while actually player 2 is going back and pulling a lever. And you can see how this saves time over speed, like over the course of a run. Yeah, got him. Obviously. Okay, now. So you can't build virus shot, which is kind of annoying. Okay.
And actually, this is one of the few levels that does have an out-of-bounds trigger, but in story, there's unfortunately no way of getting to it that we found.
There's one in free play, but it's really convoluted. So yeah, you have to destroy all the red pillars here. They can be destroyed otherwise, but they only get activated to be actually destroyable once you build the robot. In free play we have other ways to destroy it, but it's not destroyable until you activate or build the robot.
And I believe there's no goals there.
Nope.
Yep, so
Thankfully.
breaking blocks 30k stud. So this one will actually be interesting whether you get it or not, because I think you're going to be fine, but there's a big skip in room 1 that was found recently that skips like a room that takes like a whole minute, where you typically get a good amount of studs.
Yeah. Are there some blue studs right at the beginning, I think? Down here? No, okay.
No.
Just going to grab a couple. It's going to be a couple thousand here.
Do you want me to explain this while you do it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, so what Los is doing here is he's essentially setting his spawn point back where he was standing by that guy holding the big globe up, and he's just riding along the walls here to not hit another solid ground piece. And what he did there was essentially got himself stuck, so the game thought he was at the original point he was at, and he did what's known as the super jump, where he'll get stuck and the character the AI will launch to the original position he was standing. So essentially, while he was super jumping back, you can just switch to that character while he's in the air, and he happened to hit the transition for the next room as he was going back to that original position he was standing in.
I'm just going to destroy everything here, so...
Yeah, might as well. So, yeah, we skipped the whole first room.
Yeah.
But that also means
Skip
skipped
the whole
a
lot
of
of
potential
studs, yeah.
Yeah, and there's the gold breaking blocks 30k studs.
Yeah.
At the bottom left of the card, towards the bottom left. There's also that blue stud on the mirror. It's like on the top side behind the.
What do you mean?
Right to the right below where you are.
Like up here, with the plant.
It's up against the wall. It's by like riddlers, like the wall. It's up against like the small one, like with the little fence.
Here.
No, just below. It's like the wall that's mimicked on both sides, like the.
This one here?
Yes.
There's
yeah, it's like
here?
that wall, but on the other side, on the other side of this top one.
Ah.
There you go.
Never knew that one. So yeah, here we're gonna do another form of clipping. Actually, I'm just like I said. If you see me building stuff for no reason, that's because I need studs. Actually, I can't just. Yeah, I get my 30,000 studs here quite easily. Just have to make sure I don't die. Okay. Yeah, it should work.
You should be good to kind of just get to the end of it.
Nice.
And that's a whole different form of tech that we haven't seen yet. That's called mind control clipping, where similar to battering clipping, you're standing on like the edge of an object or right on the edge of the object, and when you use the mind control, I don't know exactly understand the state it puts your character in, but
it's
it allows
the same
you to
state as battering. The
Okay,
state is that you can't be pushed, or it's like no push, no move flag. So
yeah, so then you, or do you want to?
Go ahead.
Okay, so essentially you get pushed down into a spot just like a battering clip, where you can then either alt tab your game or
turn V
in the
sync
case
off
of like
to
if you
on. This one is
lag your game.
Yeah, basically lag your game. This one is way easier if you actually just turn V-Sync off or on for whatever reason. Alt tabbing doesn't work that well for me in that room.
But yeah, then once you lag your game, you'll get pushed like partially into the wall, and then it'll with the lag, it'll like push you far enough that you can just jump straight through. And you're good on studs now too.
Yeah, I have my 30,000. Come a little bit more. Just gonna deal with all the enemies still, because I will lose stats if I die, so I don't want to die too much here. If possible, I want to like lose hearts with player 2, because player 2 doesn't have that many stats. So let's see. Oh, come on, get in there.
Oh, you need Riddler to go up.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess, yeah. Oh, there we go. Cool little showcase of that you can get them from the bottom. Mind control from the bottom. It's typically not the strat done there, so...
I like to do it.
Yeah.
It's
Cool
way
little
easier doing
showcase.
the Riddler jump there.
Oh, wow. You targeted everything really well there. Typically that section's pretty hard to target the green... green panels, I'll call them, up top without targeting the enemies first, but maybe with that specific camera view.
No, I'm fine.
As you can see, Los is being very, very extra cautious on studs, just making sure he does, because it is easy to die in this end room, but...
Yeah, normally would actually leave one enemy alive, so the second wave doesn't spawn. But I'm just gonna deal with all the enemies here. Oh, there's a ×10 multiplier, ×9. Almost got the super status.
Oh, I think you can definitely get it.
Yeah, I can.
So actually,
Okay. This works out perfectly. That was so cautious.
Yeah, with you playing very, very cautious on studs, you're actually... You got so many that you're going to be able to get the super status here, which is nice.
Yeah. Go grab the... Should be not even enough.
Yeah, you'll for sure have enough by the end.
Yeah. How many do you need here?
I'm not exactly sure the count, but you'll get it right now.
Got it.
Yeah. Oh, and this is actually... So this is a cool skip where you actually... It's not quite a mind... I guess it's technically a mind control flip,
but with the other guy.
Yeah, it's not with the characters doing the mind controlling, it's with the character you are mind controlling.
And you can do a shortcut there, which is actually really risky. I'm really nervous I got that one, because if this janitor falls into the void, it doesn't respawn and I would have to reset the level. Come on, okay. And I can grab the last trigger here through the wall without ever dealing with the enemy, or not the enemy, building there, and that's 2 quick goals done.
Oh, actually, villain episode story as well.
Oh yeah, 3 goals. Let's go.
3 goals in 1.
Yeah.
So
there's
now
like 3 levels left.
4 goals to go. Penguin's Lair free play will get both Penguin's Lair 9 plus mini kits in the red brick.
Yeah, that
Collect
puts
5
me
red
at...
bricks. Wait, how many red bricks are you?
I'm at 3. I get the Penguin Slayer and I get fast build. Not fast build.
Slam.
Slammer, yeah.
And then on the rocks 10 will probably be the last goal.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe about 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, we're still with Alfred.
Poor Alfred. Always gets a bad rap in the community.
Alright. SSJ. I have a double jumper, yeah.
Yeah, and this will be the 4th out of 5 red bricks. This one actually is possible to get in story, but is extremely difficult and not something that would be anywhere near worth going for. So essentially, actually, I don't even know if I want to get too far into this, but there's something called transition skips, and essentially when you load into a room, there's a transition behind you, and like how you got into the room, essentially the door, and how you got in, but it's invisible. And if you kill a character up against that door with VSync off, you can actually, when they respawn, push them through, and then you can kind of get out of balance with that sometimes. And in story, what you would do in the second room of this level is push the character outside of the room, and then you would do a really, which, first of all, pushing the character through the transition is already hard enough. But then what you would do after is then do a very difficult E-glide without seeing your character out of bounds into the room with the little red brick in it.
Oh, why is it still built? Come on. I still have to build this first.
Oh, that's really weird. I haven't seen
me neither.
Before.
Okay, didn't softlock this one here. Alright. So this red brick is not on the card, but it will save so much time that it's... If you have to go for like a lot of mini kits or red bricks, most of the time, and you actually played this level before, it's worth actually grabbing that red brick, because it's gonna save you so much time. So it's gonna be red, blue, green, purple. Save and exit, so actually have it. So, you want to explain SSJs?
Oh, okay, perfect. Or do you want me to explain it when you get to On the Rocks?
Explain it now, because I'm going to use it for Penguin Slayer anyways.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about it. So, the red brick that Los just got there is called Slam, and you might not think the game obviously didn't intend this to be this way, but it's actually an infinite height glitch if you abuse it the right way. So essentially, we call it an SSJ because you switch, you slam, and you jump. And that's kind of the inputs you have to do to be able to get essentially unlimited height.
Yep.
And I'll be able to explain it a lot easier once Los starts doing it.
I think I can grab those as well. Slam. Yeah.
Get some extra
Why not?
suit upgrades. But yeah, essentially when you do that set of inputs, it'll place your character it'll kind of triple jump your character up. If you've ever, like, I'm sure some people might know about the triple jump glitch or whatever, the complete saga. But it's essentially like that, but you can constantly do it over and over.
Yeah, you can chain it, basically.
To get as much height as you want. And as Los, you actually might not do it in this level until...
No, I'm doing it right away.
Okay. Oh, yes, there it is. Okay, this is out of bounds. So essentially, he's switching, or he's slamming, he's switching, and he's jumping is essentially the inputs, like I said before. And he's able to just spam that over and over and over, get as much height as he wants. And we've actually done in the past, at Bingothon, we've done an SSJ race before where that was always really fun, where you see who can do that to a certain point.
Yeah, your hand's getting really tired really quickly, but it's always fun to do.
Yeah, because it's so many inputs so quick, it's you can get fatigued by doing it, and especially during like free play runs, because that is the main mechanic used in free play. It can get pretty tiring pretty quick.
Yeah. I didn't miss anything here, did I?
Oh, you need to build the carrot?
Yeah, already did that.
Yeah, you should be good.
Am I good? I think I'm good. We'll see. Oh, it's 9 plus. Yeah, okay, it's 9 mini kits.
Yeah, you have the one behind the toxic, you have the one by the on the far right, and then you have the one in the red brick room.
I have the heat suit, so I'm probably grabbing the heat suit one because I need to get into this room anyways.
Oh, don't forget the one by the penguin quick hill.
Oh, and only need 9.
Oh, yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Do you want to show off the tech here, or do you want to just build with the heat suit?
I can show it off.
Yeah, so typically we wouldn't have the heat suit here, but essentially what you can do to build these objects that you need the heat suit to build is you can build one piece at a time and then switch characters to essentially allow the character or the AI to have invincibility for that portion of time when they build that one piece, and you can keep using it by switching back and forth to be able to build the full heat suit piece. Obviously, Los could have just used the heat suit to build that.
Oh,
but...
come on, freeze.
Oh, is that gonna... Okay.
I hoped it...
I didn't know if that was actually gonna soft lock anything.
No.
Or not soft lock, slow down.
No, it's still fine.
So then here's the red brick, and 2 goals knocked
mini
out.
kits, save and exit.
Oh, and
There's
actually
Slayer.
3 goals. You can
Collect 5 mini kits, Penguin Slayer. Yeah.
As you can see, we are down to just 1 more goal left on the rocks. 10 mini kits will get that triple bingo. And actually, this card has a couple extra bingos that are pretty easy to get. Like if Los had gotten a couple more super statuses along the way, he could also get the on the rocks red brick here, and then get the top left to bottom right diagonal.
Yeah.
Which would be a cool little quad bingo, but
yeah, that would take me probably like 5 more minutes to get.
Yeah, the one thing that's kind of slowing that down is the 6 super statuses, which is, you know, unfortunately pretty difficult to do.
Sorry for the interruption. We just want to jump in again and remind everyone that this Bingothon Marathon is raising money for Project Hope, who is providing medical supplies for hospitals and other health facilities, as well as food to Ukrainian refugees across Eastern Europe, as well as a lot of other work that Project Hope does throughout the world. So please donate. There are a lot of great prizes you can win, as well as a few bid wars. And if we get to $2,500, there will be a bonus run of Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Thank you. And this is the last level of the run here, so it's probably be the longest though, because you have to get all 10 mini kits in this level, and this, as you can see, there's a couple of very just intricate things that mini kits have you do to be able to unlock them. And there's actually probably the longest one still is the vacuum suit one. It has to be. Yeah. So you'll see some pretty long mini kits. This one, Los has to get 3 different snowmen here in this first room. One of them being in this random side room.
Yeah, you can get in here in story actually. So this is story mini kit technically. That's number 2. And this is here. I always forget which one it is.
It's the bottom of the screen.
It's a flower, right?
Yeah. All the way at the bottom.
Yeah, this one here.
There it is.
I think those are
as you can
all
see,
in this room.
Los is using the SSJ, or Slam Switch Jump, a lot. And it just goes to show, like, even though, you had to go back into free play in that one level to get it kind of a minute or so out of the way, it's completely worth it in most cases.
That was super clean.
Yeah, hitting the transition all the way below the map.
Hostage here as well. Cook red.
I mean, actually, don't. You can get the red brick.
Yeah.
I don't know. The swag, you can actually. So Los will actually end up doing the full.
Yeah, I'm
basically every
100% this level basically. It just takes a couple seconds longer.
And get the extra bingo square, might as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you mind if I jump in with a quick donation?
Go ahead.
Sure.
Alright, thank you so much. So, we've got a $20 donation from Link1183 with a comment saying, "Good luck on all runners for the end of the marathon. Let's break that 2K barrier." So indeed, thank you very much for your donation, Link. I can say that this donation has gone towards the Terraria Crimson or Corruption bid war. So right now this basically puts them more closer together. So now Corruption is sitting at $51 and Crimson at $56. So definitely, depending on how you want the world to be in that upcoming Terraria run, well, you definitely want to donate now because the competition looks like it's gonna be quite fierce with that. And as the donation comment said itself, let's hit that 2K soon. So thank you once again, and let's keep it going.
All right, actually, we are almost done here. We have 3 more mini kits left. So this was the longest one, as Los was collecting all the pieces for this vacuum suit.
That's also why I had to go back in a Poison's appointment to grab the suit.
Yeah.
Because there's no way to get this mini kit otherwise.
Oh.
No, I'm fine.
Oh,
I'm fine.
actually, pardon me. There's 3 more now because I forgot that you didn't get the mind control
room, yeah.
one up top in story. This one's cool. Wait, yeah, you can actually position that bomb to destroy both metal pieces below and the one to get in. And we're coming up on time here in about 15 seconds. Just
A little
2
bit
more
more,
mini kits in
yeah.
this room. Or you can actually just SSJ all the way up.
Yeah,
and over
I
here.
know.
And as soon as Los hits save and exit, that is time.
This is gonna be the last one.
Yep, all 10.
And time.
GG.
Thank you. No, actually, mark it probably as well.
Yeah.
On the rocks, 10 mini kits. Also got this one. But yeah,
Jeez.
thank you. That's Lego Batman. It's really glitchy. It's an amazing bingo game in my opinion. Just because of its like semi-open world style or routing choices. You have so much freedom, but you're still bound to specific limitations, which makes it really interesting in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think we're definitely looking forward to try to show this again at Bingothon in a race format in the summer of 2022.
Yep.
It's always a pleasure to see it now. I think it's like it's starting to become a classic. It's quite often now we've seen Lego Batman.
I think I ran this now 6 times for Bingothon.
Yeah, indeed, it is a classic.
Yeah.
So we can definitely say it now.
It's so much fun.
It is. So just before we head off into intermission, do you have any final words you want to say?
Senior will go first. Do you have anything?
I mean, I think I kind of covered it. I'm hoping to see this once again and maybe even participate as a runner in a potential race in Bingothon Summer 2022.
Yeah, so if you're just thinking, I'm gonna give like a couple shoutouts here. So first shoutout is going to be to Prince, who actually made like the bingo and is constantly working on it. There's also Behind the Boards episode with him, so definitely check that out. To all the runner mods, bingo runners of this game. So if you want to learn this, you can join our Discord, which you find on the speedrun.com website. We have a dedicated channel only for bingo, so if you want to like do a bingo, you can ask there. We do all kind of bingos, so triple bingo is kind of like the main one we do. We also actually showed that off at a Bingothon, which is a team blackout, which is probably one of my favorite, where you can like team up with somebody and then just do a blackout against any like another team. Super cool. Then lockouts we did. We're also doing like an annually bingo tournament, which always has like around 10ish people to join. So also cool if you want to participate in there. You don't have to be an amazing runner to just participate. It's going to be super fun. And everybody that actually participated really enjoyed it. And of course, thank you to Bingothon for letting us show this game once more. And it's always so much fun to actually run this game at Bingothon. And in general, it's a good game. Pick it up. It's actually on sale at the moment, so if you
Alright.
Yeah, go ahead, I'm done.
Sorry about that.
Don't worry.
But yeah, I just want to say, well, thank you so much for that run. So, with those final words said, we'll now be moving into intermission with the following run being Crash Team Racing Single Bingo by Rob the Gamer 115. So stay tuned, everyone. Keep donating. It's absolutely amazing. And we'll be seeing you right back after a short intermission. Bye.
Bye. Have fun.
So something I'm curious about is the quote-unquote adaptation between the vanilla game bingo goals and the randomizer goals. For instance, goals that may be easy on the vanilla game, in the randomizer, are there any chances that this would all of a sudden become a difficult goal because of the nature of the randomizer?
I mean, just the basic fact that everything is randomized, you never know where stuff is. So, for example, I think I was like, I had problems with 3 medals, I think, during my race. 3 medals is something that is not that hard to acquire in the base game. You just have to think of where are like easily accessible medals, and that's basically it then. But in the rando, it is entirely different because those medals could be everywhere, and well, there aren't that much of them. I think there are like 12 or so in the entire game, and you have like a total of 200 plus checks. So since those are items that they basically don't do anything, you can kind of guess the chances you have to find a medal.
Now I'm gonna flip that question and ask, are there any goals or any types of goals that actually become easier with the randomizer?
I guess once again, it depends on the item placement. If you get like a late game item pretty early, then that kind of opens up a lot of stuff and makes stuff easier.